Marty, go ahead, and then Jeff Hood, you have the last question because we have to let Danica get back to work. Go ahead, Marty.
Marty Smith, ESPN. Danica, back in February, you mentioned how impressed you were and appreciative that those guys did come to you and offer assistance. Since you've been here the last couple of days, has anybody done that this time around?
Well, you know, Dale Jr. took time out of his schedule last night to go around the track for a couple of laps. I don't know how secret this stuff is, but I don't know. Of course. He's Dale Jr. He can go anywhere. So, you know, to show me the line and give me tips about running out here, whether it's the race or pitting or whatever, you know, where to go to help your car do different things. It's incredibly helpful. So, you know, I got in last night after, I don't know, I'm not big like all these guys and I don't have my own jet, so I flew commercial here and regretted every minute of it while I sat in Philadelphia during the rainstorm and sat there for a couple of hours. But, you know, I got into the track at like 8 o'clock last night, and Dale took time to do that. So it's stuff like that that makes a huge difference for me.
Jeff.
Jeff Hood of RacingToday.com. Danica, ticket sales for Saturday's race are up sharply. Obviously, a lot of that is attributed to you being here. Is that flattering? Is that surprising? And also, what are you seeing in terms of your growing NASCAR fan base?
I'm always flattered. I don't really know what to say. Obviously, I'm sitting up here stuttering. I'm very flattered. I'm lucky that I'm lucky people are curious about me. I'm lucky I have great fans. That's all I can say. And that's why I want to do well for them, because I know that they came to see something, and I want to show them something. So it's really awesome, and you know, I don't ignore the fact that those reasons are why I'm part of the reason why I'm here, why GoDaddy sponsors me, why, you know, Junior Motorsports wanted to run me, and, you know, all those things. That all plays into, I guess, the package of a driver. You know, I think that more than ever in racing, it takes the package. It takes a driver that can drive the car, that can speak to the media and speak to CEOs and look the part and be presentable and, you know, drive sponsor dollars. So, you know, all of those things are just part of it. And so I'm lucky, and I'm lucky to be here. I'm lucky to get to do something I love every day, and the sponsors come out for it and help out in lots of ways. So I appreciate it.
Jerry.
Are we on there? You got it?
You want to share with me?
Sure. Well, they got me going there. But on behalf of all of us here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, we want to welcome you. And a lot of you in the media know when she had the press conference a few days before Christmas down at Junior Motorsports, I found out that she might be coming to New Hampshire and then wasn't sure they were going to release the whole schedule. So I grabbed some of New England's finest lobsters, took them down, and I thought I would woo her with a lobster. And she was a good sport about it, and she had the surprised look on her face. It ran all over the country, I think, because my boss, Bruton Smith's right here in the corner, and I went to visit him, and he said, "You flew all the way down from New Hampshire to bring that woman a lobster?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Watch, you'll see." But she was a good sport about it. But when I got home, my wife got on me a little bit. My wife, Lucy, happens to be a real shoe snob. And she likes high-fashion shoes. And she says, "You don't bring a woman like Danica lobsters when you greet her on the first introduction." She said, "The woman's got style. She's got class. You need to get her some fancy shoes." So through her help, I went and got shopping, and I'd like to present you something a little bit nicer than lobster, and I promise that they're not lobster skin.
I feel so bad for those little lobsters squealing. Oh, look at these things. Wow.
So you got
very
some
nice.
Saint Laurents. I've never paid that much for a pair of shoes in my life, and I just want you to know the other bad part is it cost me double because my wife charged me a finder's fee, so I had to buy her another pair.
She wanted a pair too?
Well, yeah, she did. She thought these were nice.
That's only fair enough. You're buying a pair of shoes for another woman. You should probably buy your wife a pair too. Thank you very much. These are really beautiful shoes. Thank you so much.
As my wife says, they're saucy.
They are saucy. They are. But she's got really good taste.
I don't get it. These are $200. These are almost $1,000. Yes. Look how much more you get for $200 than $1,000. I don't get this women's shoe thing.
Don't your wife probably knows too that the same goes for purses. You can buy a little Chanel or a big Chanel, and they're about the same amount of money. Because you're paying for this little label that you don't see underneath here. Thank you so much. You guys have been fantastic, and you know I I'm so flattered when you know, this kind of thing happens, when people want me at their racetrack, and you know, your appreciation goes a heck of a long way, so thank you.
Well, thank you, and I understand that you've not met my boss formerly, Bruton Smith, who owns and operates a lot of tracks around, but he's sitting right over here, and I don't know if the wireless mic is right behind you, but Bruton, say hello to Danica right there.
Danica, well, finally I get to meet you. And,
Yes.
And I have a daughter. And
I met her.
That's right. And yesterday she won 2 trophies drag racing.
Really? I met her at Texas after the race.
So I'm sure that she'll want to start riding with you now.
Well, you know, if it calls for getting these shoes by doing what I do, I'd want to do it too.
No. Don't mention shoes to her because she already has too many. Okay. Pleasure meeting you finally.
Very nice to meet you too. Thank you so much. This is, you know, there's so many people out here, and as I was driving into the track last night at 8 o'clock, and you know, we were told it was a second entrance, and the first one comes up, and it's New Hampshire's, you know, big sign, and I'm like, we kept driving, and it's just green trees, and I'm like, I think we missed it. It's only a mile. I mean, it can only be a mile. So we kept driving, and I've got all kinds of gizmos out looking at, like, you know, maps of the track, and so we pull up to the next entrance, and I was like, holy crap, that was just for parking. That was just for camping. That was just for camping.
I'm surprised that Jerry didn't have our police chief there directing you.
I will say that I was told it was an hour to the track from Manchester Airport. It was like 25 minutes. So I'm glad a police car did not catch me.
Well, next time we'll have some police chief escorting you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Burton, just so everybody has witness, I planned on expensing these shoes. I hope you're good with that. Can you stand? We'll do a photo op with them.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, guys. While they